Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Tiffany. If you're new here and you don't know me, I am a 23-year-old currently in college and I am majoring in art education, and we'll get more into that in a bit. Today's video is going to be a little bit of a personal video. It's going to be kind of my story, my background on how I got back to art, why art is so important to me, and essentially what I've given up to pursue a career in art. So before I start talking about all that I mentioned before, which is the content of this video, I want to let you guys know how I plan on handling this YouTube channel, for lack of better words. I want to begin to take this YouTube channel more seriously. I want it to eventually be a part-time or full-time job. The goal is for it to be a full-time job for me. So I want to be more consistent with it and actually devote more time to this. I want to let you guys know I will be batch filming my videos, so if in the future you see me wearing the same thing or you see me sitting in the same exact spot, it's because I am filming multiple videos in one shot on one day. So with that being said, I am hoping, because I am batch filming, I will be able to post videos twice a week. That will give me enough time to film 2 videos for that week and then edit them and then post them that following week. And that is my goal as of now, and I am hoping to continue to post every Wednesday at 3 p.m. I think that is a good time for me, but I am unsure of the second time in the week that I will be posting. So for the next month or 2, I will be experimenting with what day. So I am alternating between Mondays, Fridays, and Saturdays, those 3 days, and I'm going to keep Wednesdays videos. So I won't always be able to post twice a week, so I will be letting you guys know in that Wednesday video whether or not there will be 2 videos a week or not. If I cannot keep up with 2 videos a week, then I'll post 1 video a week and it will be Wednesdays at 3 p.m. But so you don't have to worry about that, go ahead and click the subscribe button and the little bell notification so that you can be alerted anytime I post a new video. So now that that is out of the way, my posting schedule is sort of in the air right now, but you guys know I am trying my best. Let's jump into this video. As I mentioned, this video is going to be quite a heavy video, quite a personal video, and I will be explaining to you guys a little bit about myself, about my art journey, and about my mental health. So if you're interested, just keep on watching. I am breaking this video into 3 separate parts really. In this first part, I will be talking about how I fell in love with art, when I realized that I love art and all that comes with that. So I think around the time I was in 1st grade is when I really realized I had a love for art. I had a project, I think in 1st grade, where I had to choose what career I wanted to do for the rest of my life, which, if you ask me, is a little bit of a young age to start thinking about things like that, but I feel like adults just have a knack for asking kids inappropriate questions at young ages. I don't know, but I chose to become an art teacher. I chose wanting to be an art teacher. Of all the careers I could have chosen, I wanted to be an art teacher, and that was mainly because at the time I had the most amazing art teacher I've ever had. She was like Miss Frizzle from the Magic School Bus, down to the hair and everything, and she was just amazing. She really knew how to, I guess, inspire her students to just love everything about art, and I was obsessed with it. I was always the creative child. I was always the one that would rather read or write or draw rather than play outside. So I was always the shy, creative type, and I always enjoyed expressing myself through my art, whether that be in my chorus class, acting in auditions, performing arts, studio art, drawing, ceramics, photography, any way I could express myself that I found, I would take it. So, as far as I can remember, I always loved art. It was always a part of me. It was always the way I expressed myself and the way that I felt connected to other people and to myself. Around, I want to say 2016 was when I fully gave up art in the traditional sense. It was when I fully stopped doing any sort of art traditionally. And what I mean by this is like sketching, painting, drawing, coloring, anything like that. I stopped. Um, I had a lot of people tell me I should go to school for graphic design, that I should go to school for art, and I just didn't believe them. I just didn't think it was possible for me, and I stopped. I stopped art. I stopped everything. As I was editing this video, I realized I basically lost the most important part of this video, which is me explaining why I gave up art and how I came back to art. Here I am, a few days later, future Tiffany, and I'm just gonna go ahead and talk to you guys about it. And I'm gonna have my notes here just so that I don't forget any important things that I wanted to talk about. I'm sorry guys if I sound like crap. I literally have been having the worst allergies ever. All last night, all yesterday. I woke up and I'm like horrible. You can probably tell my nose is all red from blowing my nose so much. It's horrible. Anyways, so I gave up art to pursue a more realistic career. It's kind of a long story, okay? So I'm going to try and make it as short as possible because I don't want this video to be super long. But basically, I started going to therapy and I started thinking about why I gave up the things that I love and asking myself really important questions like why did I choose the career that I chose? Why am I pursuing this career? Why did I give up art when I loved it so much? Why did I give up so many different things that I used to love? As I was going to therapy, I started wanting to do more art. I started finding parts of myself that I thought were lost. I started finding myself again, and I think that's why I started asking myself those questions that were really important for me to ask myself. I started asking myself honestly, why did I give up art? Why did I give up on that dream? Why? And as I asked myself that, I started to think about my childhood. I started to think about the last time I did art, the last time I was confident in my art or in my talents and my abilities. And I realized when someone you care about, who you look up to, who you trust, whose opinion matters to you, tells you that you are no good, when they tell you that you're not good enough, when they tell you that you will never amount to anything, when they tell you that you can never be successful, when they tell you that you will never reach or attain this goal that you have, you start believing them because, well, you trust them, you love them, so obviously they love you, and they're saying what they're saying from a place of love. But that's not always the case. And in this last year, from going to therapy and just from doing the self-work, I realized just because you love somebody doesn't mean they love you. Just because you care about somebody doesn't mean they care about you. And just because you have good intentions for someone doesn't mean they also have good intentions for you. And so when somebody important tells you all these things and you start to believe them,
you start to think, what is the point? Why continue? My grandmother would constantly tell me that I was too shy, that I wasn't bold enough, confident enough, talented enough, that I couldn't do it. And I believed her. I began doubting myself, doubting my abilities, doubting everything, and I decided to completely stop everything that I loved, that I wanted to make into a career, that I wanted to do for myself. I completely stopped it all. And looking back, that's kind of like a drastic decision. I didn't necessarily have to completely stop. I could have continued to make art and learn and advance my skills secretly without anybody knowing, without showing it to the world. But back then, I didn't know what I know now. And back then, I thought, well, this person that I love and I trust is telling me that I'll never succeed. And so what is the point of continuing to try if I won't ever amount to anything? And that's why I stopped. I didn't want to have to be vulnerable. I didn't want to have to put myself in a place where someone might come across my art or might see something I made, and I didn't want to have a risk of somebody else telling me that I sucked and that I shouldn't be doing what I was doing. And so because of that, I chose a more realistic career. And for me, that was in medicine. And I think I chose that career because it's something that I know people would be proud of me for if I accomplished it. It's something that is like a subtle brag. Something that I knew that if I ever went back to my grandmother and said, hey, look, I became a doctor, she would have to get off her high horse and see me as someone who can achieve success and respect me. And that's why I chose the career path that I chose. And I know that is so wrong and that isn't what you're supposed to do. But I mean, I'm only 23. I am young, and I made this choice when I was like 18. But since then, I've learned so much about life and about myself, and that's why I came back to art. Life kind of just worked out for me in a way, because I ended up taking a year off of school because of my job, which my job is a whole nother story. I really don't like my job, and my job is horrible, and I'm working as a medical assistant right now. And I lost the opportunity to start the semester off because of my job and because my financial aid wasn't coming through and all these different things. So I took a year off and I start again in August. So I took this year to kind of decide, what the heck am I doing with my life? What do I want to do? What do I want out of life? And I was talking to my therapist, and she really emphasized the importance of my values in life. And I realized currently the job that I have, the life that I'm living, doesn't align with my values at all. And that's really why I'm so unhappy with my life right now. And this is like first world problems, because I know I've been in worse situations. I know people are going to be like, well, at least you have a job. And yes, at least I do have a job. And at least I do have a job that provides for my house and my car and all the things that I have. Because I know what it's like to be homeless, because me and my family struggled with that. And so I'm grateful to have the job that I have. But it doesn't align with my values, which is causing this internal conflict within myself that's really hard to deal with. I felt stuck. Then I spoke to my therapist about it, and I told her how I was feeling. I told her that I felt stuck, that I don't like my job, that I feel like this is the best that it's gonna get. And she helped me to realize about my values. She helped me to realize that there are risks involved with both career choices and that I have a choice. And then I started thinking, what if I make the wrong choice? Choices are hard. I hate making decisions. What if I make the wrong choice? And I think that's just natural for me because I am an anxious person. I always second guess and like doubt myself for everything, even the tiniest decision. I said, what if I make the wrong choice? And she said, you have to trust yourself. You have to trust that you are making the right choice for yourself. And so I decided to change my major from biomedical science to art education. I was told by my therapist that both careers have the same amount of risk. Both careers have the same amount of risk, and what that means is I can become a doctor. I can go through the whole journey to become a doctor, do all my pre-med and everything like that, do everything right, and then not get into medical school. And spend 4 or 5 years trying to get into medical school. Or I could get into medical school and not match into the residency. Or I could go to school to become an art teacher and decide I hate kids and I don't want to do that. And that I could go through a different route of art and start this YouTube channel, and then it flops. There's risks involved in everything. I watched this video that kind of solidified what my therapist was telling me about risks in whatever you choose. And it's a Jim Carrey video, and I'm going to go ahead and play it now so you can see, because I can't explain it as good as he did. And so it changed my whole thought process, and that's really what like solidified for me to go ahead and switch my career, switch my major, and just give it a try, because why not fight for your dreams?
I'm the proof that you can ask the universe for it. My father could have been a great comedian, but he didn't believe that that was possible for him. And so he made a conservative choice. Instead, he got a safe job as an accountant. And when I was 12 years old, he was let go from that safe job. And our family had to do whatever we could to survive. I learned many great lessons from my father, not the least of which was that you can fail at what you don't want. So you might as well take a chance on doing what you love.
Sorry guys, my mom came in asking if I want mac and cheese. But I realized that if you love something bad enough, you should fight for it. Because it's better to fail rather than wonder, what if I succeeded? What if this happened for me? What if I didn't fail? And I already live in a world of what ifs. I am constantly thinking, like, what if this happened instead of this? What if I made this choice instead of this? And it might just be the burden you have to live with when you have anxiety, or maybe other people feel that way too, or maybe that's just a natural instinct for me. But I am constantly thinking, what if? And so I didn't want to give myself another what if scenario. Like, what if I devote all my time to medical school, go in debt, become a doctor, and then hate it? Later on, after all that, decide I want to do art and succeed, and then, like, I'm in debt and all this stuff, and 10 years older for nothing. Why not devote my time, my energy now? Figure this thing out. And if I fail, then I can still go back to school and try this whole medical thing out. And then that way, when I go to these medical schools and they ask me, why medicine? Why not something else? I can tell them, and I can mean it. And I can tell them, I've tried everything else that I've wanted to try. I did everything else that I wanted to do, everything else that was holding me back from making this decision, and I realized it didn't work for me. So this is the decision that I want to make. And I won't have to lie. I won't have to tell them that and still have that what if in the back of my head saying, you didn't try everything. I want to give it a try. And I don't want to go into medical school and get into hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt only to realize I hate it and try the art thing anyways. I want to try this, see where it goes. And if I succeed, great. If I don't, try again. And try and try and try until I have no more try left in me. I'm hoping that doesn't have to happen though. I'm hoping that I can succeed, and I'm hoping that even if this YouTube channel doesn't blow up and all that stuff, I enjoy working as an art teacher for whatever school I end up working at. And I'm hoping that I'm content with that. But you honestly don't know until you try it. You honestly don't know until you're there. And I'd rather spend 2 years of my life training to be an art teacher and hate it and then go into training to be a doctor than it be the other way around, because I would have wasted less time even if I decided I hate being an art teacher. But I love art. I love creating. I love helping others and seeing others create. And I love everything about it. So I highly, highly doubt that I will hate being an art teacher. I highly doubt it. Like, that's not even something that I think is even realistic, because I don't think that's gonna happen. But that is pretty much everything I wanted to talk about in this video. I want to thank you so much if you made it to this point in this video. Thank you for listening to me and being here with me, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. I hope that if you were on the fence between two careers, but you have this dream to be an artist, that you can devote your time and your effort into it, that you can try it and see where it takes you. And yeah, with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If your story is anything like mine, leave a comment down below and let me know that you are with me and that you are on this same journey as me. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!